Welcome. In front of me I have the Infinix Hot 30, and today I'll go for unboxing along with a quick overview of this phone. So without further ado, let's just pop it open and see what we're dealing here with. Okay, so that's all we get in the box right here. Now, to start with the specs, this is a 6.78-inch display with a resolution of 1080 by 2460. It is an IPS LCD display that boasts a 90 Hz refresh rate and a very unpleasant screen protector that just kind of catches your finger. Anyway, it has a peak brightness of 600 nits, 84.5% screen to body ratio with 396 pixels per inch. So, to kind of clarify, the display right here is pretty okay. It's nothing outstanding, it is just an IPS LCD display, and it has a 90 Hz refresh rate, which is a little bit better than the older devices that only had 60. But it still kind of falls a little bit behind from the more traditional 120 that most devices nowadays have. And the brightness is also, peak brightness, is also on a little bit of a lower side. Just to kind of put this one into perspective, something like the Galaxy that I have right here has a peak brightness of, I believe, like 1200 nits. Things like Samsung S23 Ultras have closer to 1900. iPhones have something along those lines too, of like close to 2000 nits. This is only a 600 peak brightness. Now, I do know that I'm comparing this to like some of the top shelf devices, which this one isn't. But I just I wanted to put the numbers into like what is right now the highest, right, in general, and the typical brightness for most of the devices nowadays is something about like 1000 nits, give or take. So it still falls a little bit behind. Anyway, let's flip it over and get a look at the cameras, and there's also pretty nice looking back. I have to say I like it. Now, this is completely glass, it's not uneven or anything, it just reflects light in this kind of way, and it looks pretty interesting. I do like this. Now, we do have a dual camera setup right here. You've got to be kidding me. So the main one here has a 50 megapixel wide sensor. That's okay. This absolute shit below that, this poor excuse of a camera, this mistake, is a 0.08 megapixel depth sensor. I am speechless here. At that point, why do you even bother including it? And why the absolute F did you put such a bump on this garbage? Manufacturers, sometimes I just cannot get, what are they smoking when they're designing these phones? So, the reason why I'm raving about this is because this lens is I can't even say it's useless or shit, because shit had its purpose. This does not. So you get to pay for something that is more of an insult to be included on a device. So yeah, I can't. Let's move over to the front. So at the front we have an 8 megapixel wide sensor, which is more traditional. Now, if we move over to the internals, we are looking at a Helio G88 processor, which is equivalent of something along the lines of a Snapdragon 680. So not necessarily the fastest processor out there. It should still go through almost most of the things that you throw at it, apart from like some gaming. If you want to run anything like Genshin Impact, that's probably out of the question here, unless you enjoy slideshows. Now, outside of that, we also have a single option of this device that comes with 256 gigabytes of storage with 8 gigabytes of RAM, and it's being powered by a 5000 mAh battery. And we also get the charger that charges the device at 33 watts. So that's actually pretty good. It comes included with the device, which is even better than what Samsung provides with their devices. And even the capability of their phones is only like at 22 watts, unless you buy the S23 Ultra. But if you bought even more expensive device, this only supports 22 watts because money well spent. So this device already charges better than a phone that cost costed about a year ago $1,800. This already charged faster and costs a fraction of that. Fantastic. Now, moving on, we have a fingerprint sensor that doubles as a power button on the side right here, and SIM tray. I presume this is also an SD tray. God damn, that was hard in there. So yeah, we have a dual SIM support along with a dedicated SD. So you can expand the storage further with an SD card. And at the top we have absolutely nothing. At the bottom we have our charging port, headphone jack, which we do have headphones like you've seen that come with the device. And we have the speakers, microphone next to it, and that's about it. So there we go. Oh, and a case, which I'm gonna put on right now just so you can see how that looks like. It removes some of the bump from the camera, so it's pretty nice. There we go. So, if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.